So I haven't been invading or playing Elden Ring as much lately, because I have a bunch of other things that I'm trying to do at the same time, including get through a list of other games. One of which being Armored Core, which is really good. I love that game. It's been amazing so far. I still need to get through New Game Plus, but I am working my way through New Game Plus now, and I'm having a good time with it. But I wanted to make this video as sort of another build video, like my previous Dark build in Elden Ring video, and also sort of just a rant about how good low-level invasions can be. Anyway, this character I made uses 2 great swords because I just have not really played around with dual wielding at all in this game so far. I've always either two-handed weapons or just had like a one-hand weapon and then a spellcasting tool in my other hand, or even sometimes a shield. But this character uses 2 great swords, which has been a lot of fun to play with. It's given me a lot of different moveset options because I can switch between the different swords, or I can use the dual wielding option. A lot of different stuff that I can do. If you consider backstabs like a form of thrusting motion, then I suppose the theme of this build is worst thrusting attacks in Elden Ring, because the goal that I'm going for with this is to practice some things that I'm generally sort of bad at, or that I just sort of forget to use. And that's my reason for staying at low levels. I'm staying at around 25 to 30, and it's been very helpful for experimenting, for practicing stuff. And the reason I say that the theme of this is probably something akin to worst thrusting attacks in Elden Ring is because a couple of the things that I'm practicing are the reverse backstep attacks, which I think look particularly cool with dual-wielded greatswords, because you do the quickstep and then you do sort of a dual simultaneous thrust, like the Twin Spears moveset, only cool. And the other thing that I'm practicing is the reverse quickstep backstabs, which is entirely new to me, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it feels very good to land whenever I get the opportunity, now that I actually know how to do it. And it's great. Landing backstabs was something that I could never do in Dark Souls 3. I could just never get the hang of it. I always whiffed and got punished and usually died. And after talking with some other folks about how they do it and how it should be done, then it sort of clicked at some point, and I get it now, you know? And so I'm having a lot of fun sort of trying to spot opportunities to use these 2 things in invasions. And that sort of brings me to the reason that I'm making this video in the first place, is just to talk about low-level invasions. If I was invading at a higher level, maybe level 80 or 90, even 70 or even 60. 60 can be rough, but anywhere like mid to higher range level with this character, it would be much harder to get the hang of doing these things that I'm bad at, because there's less room for mistakes at higher levels. At higher levels, the damage gets so insane that if you go for something fancy and you're not confident in it, you know, or you whiff, or you do something wrong, and you're up against a 2 or 3 man team, which is often the case, there's a good chance that you can just get obliterated by Giant's Flame Take Thee coming from a rooftop or something, you know? And so invading at lower levels sort of grants you an opportunity to breathe and make mistakes a little bit, because the damage is far less insane at lower levels. And at lower levels, if you're fighting a 3-man team, then there is a possibility that they're all new players, but your worst case scenario is that there will be 2 overleveled phantoms and 1 wimpy host, instead of 2 overleveled phantoms and 1 host who is also just overpowered but maybe doesn't know how to play, right? Which is a much more likely scenario at level 80 or something, when a host actually has the stats to use something like Rivers of Blood or Giant's Flame Take Thee or Moonveil, right? But if you're invading at level 25 or 30, you know that that's at least guaranteed one person who can't be using Moonveil. Hello, this is Future Editing Ghost here, and I wanted to say that I completely glossed over another major reason why low-level invasions are so great, is that they put restrictions on you as the invader. I know that sounds kind of silly because invaders are already at a disadvantage. However, if you learn PvP, if you learn how to fight, if you learn how to invade with a Moonveil or, I don't know, an Ancient Relic Sword or Rot Breath or any other one of the numerous giant fireworks that the game gives us to play with, then you're not going to learn anything that way. And so, by starting at lower levels, you put a restriction on yourself in terms of gear and stats. And so it limits what you can use in terms of spells and weapons, and it forces you to figure out how to make them work, what roles they play in the invasions. So yeah, that's pretty much the idea of this video. If you are new to invading in Elden Ring, then I highly recommend starting at lower levels. Another great YouTuber by the name of Rant has a fantastic video about how he was having a great time at low-level invasions. I'll post that in the description below. And the idea to try out dual wielding I also got from Felicificity, who has an extremely stylish short of themselves using dual-wielded curved greatswords, and they were having just a super time with it. Looked like a lot of fun, so I figured I'd try it out. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, I'm currently working on some music that's almost finished, which I'll have up on the channel before long. So, until then, everybody have fun invading, and I'll catch you guys later.